It is July 28th, and this is the Peng Sports Podcast, episode 22. It's 7:18 a.m. July 28th, as I said earlier, if I didn't. But it's July 28th. July almost over. August coming soon. 3/4 of 2021 done, out the door, scratch. It's OV pretty much for 2021. So what do we start now? What's the plan now? Let's start planning our 2022. Let's start our 1/4 of 2022. Right now. You got the time. Summertime, loving in the summertime. But anyways, I'm Kamaal Daniels. This is the Peng Sports Podcast. Episode 22, as I said. I'm 21. It's 2021. Episode 22. And it's not 7:22, it's 7:20 right now. Talked about plans. Well, my plan for this episode is to get into the spelling bee. Yes, the spelling bee. I did not touch on the spelling bee a couple weeks ago. Why? Because, well, there's no excuse for it. Honestly. But congratulations to Zalia Avant-Garde, if that's how you pronounce her name. The first African-American girl to win the Scripps National Spelling Bee. I say the first African-American girl for a reason. Because she is not the first black girl to win the spelling bee. The first black girl, was Jody Ann Maxwell in 1998, and she represented Jamaica Money. Shout out to all my black queens out there, holding it down for the community in spelling and in every other aspect of life. Shout out. Where would we be without you? Where would the world be without you? Where would we be without Beyonce? Where would we be without Nicki Minaj? Where would we be without Latrice taking care of her 2 kids? Where would we be without Pamela? Your guess is as good as mine. But I guess that we would be far from where we are today. So thank you, all black women, African American women, women in general. But now, I want to get into the NBA draft, the National Basketball Association draft. And I'm not a fan of drafts. Well, yeah, not a fan of drafts. Not because it's boring, not because I think there's one thing at the draft that should happen. Congratulations. Good luck on your career. And that's it. But congratulations to all the gentlemen getting drafted tomorrow. Congratulations. Tomorrow, or is it Friday? But it's coming up. Changing your family's future forever. Changing other families' future forever. Inspiring generations. This is pinnacle stuff. This is life-changing stuff for people. This is a landmark for everyone in the world, because you don't know who inspires who, how this person affects this person. That's why that's the power of sports. You never know. But Cade Cunningham is supposed to go first, and then the Thunder have the rest of the 29 picks in the first round. But my motto with coaches is give them some time. And the same train of thought or the same practice I would suggest for rookies. There's a few rookies who didn't pan out this last season. Pistons rookie didn't play phenomenal, even though he was a rookie from France, I believe. There's a few rookies didn't play up to their standard. Edwards brought it up towards the latter half of the season. Balled out. There's more to it, but this rookie class, last 2020 rookie class, did well, but didn't, I guess, wow everyone like they expected. Their expectations were really low, but give them some time. And like with these guys, 2021, who are supposed to be better than last year's draft, I say give them some time too. Think about it. New city, new people, new everything, new plays. For most of these guys, their whole NBA or basketball career, they've been the best player on the court. I don't need to know this play because I can do what I want to do on the court. Well, for the first time, they're going to have people like P.J. Tucker lock them up, a guy who averages 3.5 points a game, and is a rotation guy. And that's never happened to them before. If a smaller guy comes against them in usual regular basketball, that's barbecue chicken. All day, every day, that's a bucket. Also, with the fans, let's relax. They're not trying to be bad. Trust me, they're not trying to be bad. Even though Jamarcus Russell may have been a bust, he wasn't trying to be bad in Oakland. Didn't work hard, from what they say. But they don't try to be bad, so give him a break. Ben Simmons doesn't try to miss free throws. And one more thing. They're 19. I'm 21, and if I got $1 million right now and moved to Portland, it'd be tough for me. It'd be a little difficult. I wouldn't know what to do with all the money. I probably wouldn't save it correctly. There's a reason why they're NBA players. There's a reason why these guys are athletes and I'm not. But patience is a virtue unless you're New Balance, who has the worst commercial slogan ever, and patience is a virtue. That's the slogan. Why would you preach that? But that's just neither here nor there. Congratulations to all the people who are getting drafted. I think, at least from what I hear and what I've seen from high school highlights and college highlights and G League highlights, if you're in the 1 through 5 range, I think you're going to be happy with your pick. I do. And there's new people coming in. The dude from Australia is apparently really good. So, we'll see. We will see. But give them some time. Alright? Now, from people changing their NBA careers, their basketball careers, to another guy changing his basketball career potentially in the league, Bradley Beal. Bradley Beal's supposed to leave. He was supposed to leave last year, supposed to leave the year before, supposed to leave during this season. Bradley Beal's always behind something. Respect Bradley Beal. He wanted to win in Washington. He wanted to sign another contract. He could have definitely left. But he decided to stay. And you gotta respect that about him. But just like you, just like Kevin Durant, just like LeBron James, when you want to better your career and you have the power to trade, to get traded, and the Wizards are willing to trade for him, why not? And 3 front runners right now are Boston, Golden State, and Miami. That's at least what I've read and what I've seen. And honestly, they make the most sense. So, we're going to get into who Boston can trade for, what they can trade for, who go to state, all of the above. Boston, are they the most attractive team to Bradley Beal? I don't know. I don't know what they base attraction on. I don't know what goes through people's minds. Some people like Miami Heat. Some people, the Heat of Miami, not the Miami Heat. But anyways, If I were the Boston Celtics GM, who am I giving? Or if I had a mind control device and I could control Brad Stevens, what am I giving up for Bradley Beal? Or what am I giving in? Romeo Langford, Marcus Smart, and a pick with this year's draft or next year's draft. Or both. I could also throw in a Robert Williams and or Taco Fall. So you think about Taco Fall, why I throw Taco Fall in there is because if this owner's trying to make money and free up cap room, bring Taco Fall. Taco Fall will bring fans. Why? I don't know. He's tall. Seems like a good young man, even though he may be older than me. But why not? Why not? Give up a young asset. Give a guy who I think Boston fans are somewhat split on the Marcus Smart train. I like Marcus Smart. Gives effort. And he knows his role. Not a lot of guys know their roles. He may take one or two ill-advised shots, but they're not usually contested threes or anything. They're usually open threes. And a team that lacks identity, in Washington, why not have an identity dude in Marcus Smart? Russell Westbrook, Marcus Smart. Not a lot of teams are gonna Shana Hana going to face that team. People already don't like playing Marcus Smart. People already don't like playing Russell Westbrook. Put them together, you have a two-headed hydra. Now to the Golden State Warriors. Golden State's a tough one. If Christian Uwe was the general manager of Golden State Warriors, shout out Christian once again, 2 episodes in a row, he would give up Wiseman. And if I were to give up Wiseman, I'm giving up Wiseman straight up. I'm not giving up any picks. I'm not giving up I'm not. Wiseman for Beal straight up. If it's a tough one, right? If Golden State wants to give up Wiseman and get Bradley Beal, because Bradley Beal going to Golden State isn't a guaranteed victory. Golden State gets smaller. Isn't a guaranteed championship, I should say. Golden State gets smaller, as I said. Defense's gut leaves. Wiseman's a solid defender. It's a lot. I think this has to be foolproof if you trade Wiseman. You have to say, okay, Steve Kerr, do you have a plan? Steve Kerr's in Tokyo right now. I just feel like you have to win a championship if you trade Wiseman for Beal. In my personal opinion. But this is the Peng Sports Podcast and not with Kamaal Daniels. And it's not with Christian Uwe. I pronounce his last name wrong all the time. And it's 7:33 a.m. And 7:33 a.m., Kamaal Daniels, if he were the GM of the Golden State Warriors, I'm giving him Draymond Green. Golden State isn't posting Draymond on Instagram. Something's in the works. I don't think that's accidental. Your third most popular guy on your team, you just don't post him on Instagram. When you post, I believe they posted Steph, Clay, Jordan Poole, because they're posting like rookie pictures or something. Something is along those lines. They didn't post Draymond. They're cooking up something. They told him don't post Draymond. Why? think they're cooking up something. But with Draymond, I would add in Jordan Poole, and I give up another draft pick in this year's or next year's draft. The only thing about trading Draymond Green is I don't believe Washington gets as much. Because the thing about trading Bradley Beal is you maybe get some solid players, but the key is you're freeing up your cap space so you can draft somebody solid, and then future years down the line, you have more money to splurge on that once-in-a-generation talent that I think is coming more and more often. I think more and more teams are going to have players who can just get buckets because that's how the NBA is going and that's how everything's going, where players can just get buckets. But now to the Heat. My favorite contender, my favorite of all the trade landing spots. If I were to say, out of these three teams, where do I want Bradley Beal to go? I want him to go to Miami. Everyone likes Miami. Sunny weather. He's played at Florida. I was going to say he's from Florida. He's from St. Louis. That's another reason why Boston may be a good place for him. Jason Tatum, St. Louis. But I think those kind of friendship things are overrated. I think when you play with your friends, I just feel like Boston have more issues to take care of than get Bradley Beal. I don't think they're championship contenders. Golden State aren't guaranteed championship contenders. The Heat are championship contenders with Bradley Beal. I'm unsure about... Okay, let me start off first. These are the players who I think the Heat are going to give up for Bradley Beal. I do not really know about Duncan Robinson's contract situation, but if you can trade Duncan Robinson, I will put Duncan Robinson in the mix. If he's still employed by the Heat. Mr. Nunn, Kendrick Nunn, I'm putting him in there. And also, I'm putting in first round 2022 draft pick, I believe they have, and a first round 2023 draft pick, I believe the Miami Heat have. Because Miami are on a win now fast track. I don't think they're playing for the future. They don't have that guy. They have Tyler Hero, who's really good. And yes, I did not put Tyler Hero in the draft process. It was the second year. The NBA adjusted to him, and now it's his turn to adjust to the NBA. I think Tyler Hero is going to have a very good season. His third season. If they don't get Bradley Beal, he's going to be stepping up. And I can see him as a potential, if he's comes off the bench, 6th Man of the Year candidate. Finalist. I'm not trading Tyler Hero. That's the thing. That's why they need to give up 2 first-round draft picks for Bradley Beal and give up Duncan Robinson and give up Kendrick Nunn. Alright? Again, I really hope Bradley Beal goes to the Heat. I really hope he goes to the Heat. The Heat are going to be good next year no matter what. And with or without Bradley Beal, they're going to be good. But I would like for them to get Bradley Beal, or as the streets call Bradley, Big Panda. Why they call him Big Panda? Because he's a vegetarian. And he likes bamboo. I don't know. I'm allergic to bamboo. Believe it or not. How are you allergic to bamboo, Kamaal? That's a story for another day. But if I were to have 2 teams that Kamaal Daniels would like to put into the mix, put into the scuffle, or where I like Bradley Beal to go, the 2 teams are the Mavericks and the Thunder. Oklahoma City Thunder. I know it's you get confused. Oklahoma City Thunder. OKC, I put him with Smooth, Not Chunky Peanut Butter, Shai Gilgeous Alexander. Smooth, Not Chunky, that's his new name. Not Smooth, Not Chunky. Smooth PB. Shai Gil D. Alexander. Huh? Smooth peanut butter, I like that. Smoothest player in the NBA, by far. Landslide. And one more thing, Drake. Hang out with Shai. He's from Canada. You know. I see him hanging out with LeBron. I see him hanging with D-Book. No Corey Joseph, no Shai, no A-Wig. I see Drake hanging out with everyone except his countrymen. You can hang out with whoever you want, Drake. But don't forget about your fellow Canadians. RJ Barrett plays in New York. I'm just saying. When the chips fall down and you have to choose between the Americans are going to stay in America. The Canadians are going to stay in Canada. Right? Hang out with your Canadian brethren. Especially African-American, African-Canadian. I should say black. Canadians. That's all I'm saying, Drake. That's all I'm saying. But for the Thunder, this is who I'm giving up. I came prepared. I'm giving up Kemba Walker and my 62 draft picks that I have for the next 22 years. Alright? All of them. Every single one of them. For Bradley Beal to get that duo partnership, Shai and Beal. Now, where they land in the Western Conference, Nuggets being injured, Portland being iffy, Lakers being iffy, Clippers being iffy, Phoenix are the only real team, Jazz would be solid, Grizzlies are supposed to win a championship because they got Steven Adams because, let's look at this. What happened the last 2 years, Pelicans give the highest paid player, Anthony Davis wins a championship, Drew Holiday wins a championship. Steven Adams was their highest paid player, goes to Grizzlies. Grizzlies, 2022 NBA champions. And I always said their head coach is going to win Coach of the Year. Alright? But anyways, if Beal goes to the Thunder, fourth seed in the West. I'm calling it fourth seed in the West. And my second team, the Mavericks. The unicorn, his horn isn't as pointy, Kristaps. He wants out. Put him in a big city. He likes big cities, I think. Trade him to Washington. Put in Tim Hardaway Jr. in there. You have solid players to replace those two players. And Bradley Beal will take up for the offensive load of those two players. And you have Willie Cauley-Stein who can protect the middle. I think the most balanced team, or the team that's best complements their superstars is not Golden State. Golden State's solid. Golden State's solid. They have players who can space the floor. But the Mavericks, the only problem is the Mavericks play in the wrong decade. If this was 2006, 2003, 2000, this would be a perfect team to win the championship. But it's 2022, baby. You need to step your game up, Mavericks, slightly. You don't need to make huge changes, catastrophic changes, but you need to make some changes, get another superstar, and you don't want Luka, the legend Luka, to leave. But outside of Bradley Beal, there's other trade talks going on in the league, and the most important one that I guess everyone's talking about is Buddy Hield to the Lakers. This seems like the most obtainable, fact-checking me on that word, obtainable trade for them. And this has to be tough for Kyle Kuzma. Hopefully Kyle Kuzma's doing fine, living life. Hopefully. But Kyle, I say it could be worse. You could be homeless, or you could not be playing the sport or the thing that you love to do. You couldn't be playing it, man. So you gotta take the good with the bad. And it's about time for a change. You know, a lot of people, I hear, oh man, they really dropped the ball with Brandon Ingram and Kyle Kuzma. No, they didn't drop the ball. I think the same thing would have gone on if Brandon Ingram was there. I think Brandon would be a little bit more efficient, shooting-wise, defending-wise. But Kyle Kuzma's game, he has a good game. Solid game. It can translate to any system. Just as tough. He was mad he got put in the corner every single game. Played weird minutes, closing out quarters. He was set for... He is in a weird situation in Los Angeles. And it's time for a change. This guy's he played college at Utah. He did so well in Los Angeles his rookie year, no expectations, quiet. I don't think he's a quiet guy. I don't know. I really don't know. But put him in a smaller market. I think he flourishes there. And then he sort of gets... He's already accustomed to the NBA life. Now he just needs to get accustomed to the court life. The court life. Slowly but surely, Kyle Kuzma will be back. I say betting on greatness is playing with house money. Kyle Kuzma, I don't know if he's going to be great. But when you play, NBA players are better than the average Joe. If you didn't know. I did. If you didn't, bars right there. But anyways, he'll be back. Trade him, Lakers, throw in some draft picks, second rounder, a first rounder in 2027 or something along those lines. But what does Buddy Hield do? Just like Bradley Beal to the to Golden State and to Boston, does it make the Lakers championship contenders? Because I think the window's closed for LeBron James. I think the window's closed for the Lakers. AD's 7 foot. He's going to get injured. But what they need from Buddy Hield is when AD gets a little dinked up, or AD's played 4 games in 7 days, or 4 games in 6 days, they need a Buddy Hield to carry that load. Okay, you played 32 minutes last night, AD. Now let's play 26 or 20 minutes tonight because Buddy Hield can take care of it. Because we're playing the Newark G League team and we can beat them by 20 if you just play a solid game. They re-signed Schroeder, who I think is a good re-signing. Believe it or not, against what people say, against what Magic Johnson has to say. Nothing against Magic Johnson, great player, but I just don't agree. He's not a Laker. That's sort of mean, right? In my opinion, that's mean. What dictates a Laker? Are you a Laker? Are you a great Laker because you won, because you got in a good situation playing with one of the greatest scorers of all time, the greatest scorer of all time, honestly? What dictates a Laker or not a Laker? Do you know the guy? Maybe the Laker locker room's changed. I just don't like sneak comments against people that don't deserve them. But Schroeder, good signing, good re-signing. Montrezl Harrell, who doesn't play. I talked about Mike Budenholzer. He's good. But Frank Vogel, there's a reason Jason Kidd left, if I'm not mistaken. But they got some solid assistant coaches in Los Angeles. Lionel Hollins, I believe. And Lakers have a solid lineup. Good bench. Hollis Jefferson. Kuzma. Caruso. Lakers have a solid team, but will Buddy Hield, the ultimate question is, but will Buddy Hield be enough? I think their window is closed, though. I do. The window can open back up a little bit more if they do this. Remember, I already gave I believe the correct term is the eulogy for LeBron James' career. From 2003 to 2021. Rested one of the greatest NBA careers of all time. I'm not counting 2021, 2022 because rest in peace LeBron James' career because he's done. And that's the most negative thing I'll say on this podcast. Excuse my negativity, I'm already breaking out in hives. Allergic to negativity, but LeBron James is done. For basketball. Acting, he has a chance to win Emmys, he has a chance to win Oscars. But basketball, I believe he's done. Acting, new page. So, what do the Lakers want to do? Do they want to be relevant or do they want to win a championship? Because if they want to win a championship, I'm trading LeBron James. Yes, I'm trading LeBron James. LeBron James was not LeBron James. Let's be honest. LeBron James wasn't LeBron James, and it's tough because he is LeBron James. He brings tickets. I'm trading LeBron James for Jason Tatum. I'm trading LeBron James for Damian Lillard. If I want to win a championship, that's what's happening. You talk about a guy who can take the load off AD. Damian Lillard can take the load off AD. And you can still trade for Buddy Hield. Buddy Hield, Damian Lillard, AD. I'm just saying. AD can be the 2, the second option. I'm just saying. LeBron James is on my trading block. If I want to win a championship, but they don't want to win a championship. They just want to be the talk of the town. They just want to be relevant. And I did not mention DeMar DeRozan for a reason because they're not getting it. What are they going to give up for him? LeBron, and I'm not giving up LeBron for DeMar DeRozan. DeMar DeRozan has a good game, plays solid defense, plays solid offense, clutch, plays solid defense, plays solid offense. That's my best analysis on him. Again, I am no expert. Anyone says that they are an expert that's never played in the NBA, check their credentials. But anywho, I don't think they're getting DeMar DeRozan. That's the long shot. That's not happening. Unless they somehow able to trade Schroeder and Harrell for him. But I don't think that helps them. I think it just does the same thing. Again, they need another superstar to go to the next level with the Lakers, in my opinion. And the free agency market isn't too hot. And LeBron James is getting older. Now, from one offseason transactions to another offseason transactions, sporting transactions, however you want to say it. Let's get into football. OG football. I don't love OG football, to be honest with you guys. I'm trying to think of something. Something I can say better than OG football. I'm just going to say football and American football from now on. Okay? Now, football. Trade rumors, transfer rumors, free agency. This is pretty much free agency for anyone who doesn't know. Even though it isn't free agency, in football, it's more common where, I guess you could say in the NBA, they have buyouts. Buying out players is common in football. It's very rare players are just leave. Because that's how teams make money. You know, of course they have sponsorships, but teams make money off of transfers. A team named Ajax in the Netherlands are known for this. They just breed young players, send them off, and that's how they make a lot of money. But Manchester United. The winners of transfer window by a long shot. Varane, Sancho. Is Manchester United back? I think so. See, what Varane does, what a good center back does is, or a good center defensive mid like Conte does, is it limits those uncreative players. And nothing against uncreative players, because those kind of players win you leagues and win you championships. But you can't have a boatload of those kind of players on your team. You can have Luke Shaw. He's not a very... When I say creative, I don't mean they don't have skill or they don't try things. I just think they are... We win by me doing the basics, so I'm not going to do this extra stuff that I don't need. I'm not going to do no-look passes. I'm not going to do all that. But you need that sometimes in games. Right? I need it. I need to be entertained, right? But anyways, with Varane in the back, they don't need to play Fred and McTominay as center defensive mid. Center mid, because they don't have to worry about the back line. Because that's why they had those guys. You can play Rashford or whoever wants to play up top. Rashford, Greenwood, Sancho, Cavani, whoever. That's where Sancho would play, winger, of course. Of course, because all you guys know is football. But Sancho plays winger, and they were looking for a winger. That Reece James, solid player, but not good enough. Reece James plays for Chelsea, just to let you know. But, is there two Reece James? I have to look that up. But you know who I'm talking about, the Welshman. But anyways, so that takes care of the front line. Maybe still need a striker. I would put Greenwood as striker. I really like him as striker. Fast, he's going to get bigger over time. But anywho, because the problem with Pogba is he doesn't track back. He doesn't get back defensively. He's this little lazy player. But he gives you so much offensively. You can sort of give it to him. He's a little Steph Curry-ish. A little Draymond Green. Damian Lillard-ish. Gives you so much offensively, slightly defensive liability, but he gives you so much offensively, you can take it. But with Paul Pogba and football is an interesting sport where he can give you all that offensively, and he can do it 6 out of 10 times, but 4 out of 10 times, he can't. And that forward, it's not a 6 out of 10 times, 6 straight games. It's a good game to mediocre. It's a good game. It's tough, right? But with Varane back, you can put Fred. You can play a center midfield of Fernandes, attacking mid. Pogba center behind him. Fred or McTominay behind him. And when you're up, sub out Pogba. When you're down, sub in Pogba. I just believe Pogba's best playing center mid. And that's where he's best. Not playing right wing where he was playing last year. It won't happen because they have Sancho. And when you have 2 of the top 4 center backs in the Premier League, that also helps. You know? Even if Paul Pogba doesn't play in his right position. Even if Paul Pogba is playing right mid. Doesn't matter. When you have 2 of the 4 top defenders in the Premier League, center backs in the Premier League, you're going to be very good. You know? The other 2, one of them plays for Manchester City, Diaz. And what would you do if you're Manchester City? Because are you the best team in Manchester now? Is Manchester red again? See, this is what I'd do if I was Manchester City. Yeah, those guys made big moves. They bought from Real Madrid, so I'm going to sell a player to Real Madrid. Raheem Sterling. Or wherever. I would give up Raheem Sterling. I would let Raheem Sterling go. Raheem isn't playing a lot. He's not. As much as he wants to. He needs to play a little bit more. Let him go to Real Madrid. Get some money. Got some more money for Grealish, who everyone likes. I like Grealish a little bit. I'm not the biggest fan though. I don't see what everyone else sees in him. Get some money for Grealish and then get some money for Kane, and you're back in it. You're back in the race for Manchester. And it's a toss-up. And to be completely honest with you, even if they get Kane, even if they get Grealish, I think Manchester United have a better team top to bottom. Better attacking midfield than Kevin De Bruyne over Bruno Fernandes. Better keeper. Ederson is better than Henderson or De Gea, whoever you want to play. I think they have the best center midfielder. Gundogan. Gundogan is good, but I take Pogba over him. Varane is better than Diaz. Maguire is better than Stones. I take Walker over Wan-Bissaka slightly. But I take Cancelo over Wan-Bissaka also. But I take Shaw over Zinchenko. That's just a quick one through. But I do believe Manchester United have a better team overall. Rashford is also really good. Just to let you know. So if the Premier League starts today, who's the top 4? Who's in the top 4? Right? I did my finals predictions 2022. So let me do my pengsports.co if you want to check that article out. I'm not telling you who. You got to check the article out. Liverpool 1. Yes, Liverpool 1. Manchester United 2. City 3rd. Spurs 4th. Yes, Chelsea end up 5th in the Premier League this season. Good season by Kai Havertz, though. Good season by Kai Havertz. One last thing about the Premier League. Yes, Liverpool is going to finish first. But I need Liverpool to get Neto. Please. I need him playing for a big club. Fan of Neto. Like his game. The most underrated player in the Premier League. It's because he plays for Wolves, and they have Traore, who's not the most overrated player in the league, but he's a very solid player, and he deserves the plaudits he gets. And we're going to stay overseas, across the border, over the Atlantic. No. Across the Pacific. In Tokyo, the Olympics, 2020 Olympics. Next Olympics, 2024, will be in Paris, France. Then it's in Los Angeles. I wonder where it's going to be in 2032. I'm going to be 32 years old. Yikes. Okay, I'm going to go through everyone who's won gold, all the countries who won gold. And I may give you a little snippet of the athletes that have won gold for that country. Kosovo. Yeah, I should have gone over the name of the countries before. Kosovo. Okay, we're gonna look this up real quick. Hold up. Okay. Pronunciation. Kosovo. Alright? Kosovo. 2 golds in judo. 48 kg judo and 57 kg judo. Both in the women's division. The women holding it down for Kosovo. Jakova and Distra Kriniška. I thought the naming the country was difficult. And Kosovo have 2 golds, both from those 2 young ladies. Now, with another country with 2 golds, the Netherlands. Red Light District, Duitsland. Duitsland is Germany. The Dutch. And Nemec, they have 2 golds. Van Vlenten, Golden Cycling Road. And on their men's side, teams, it's a team sport. There's no I in team, but there is an I in win. But they did not win individually. They won as a team in quadruple rowing. Congratulations, Netherlands. The people across the border have 2 golds as well. Margaret McNeil, 100-meter butterfly. I think that's the second most difficult stroke. I do. They say it's the most challenging, but I just think the backstroke is really hard. Have you ever done backstroke? The water's, you're doing it backwards. The water's in your face. I hate the backstroke. Backstroke is very difficult. And I'm just now realizing, this, that their goggles are really tight. I never thought their goggles were that tight. But their goggles are really tight for the swimmers. And I'm just noticing it this Olympics. Understandably, don't want any water in your eye. That's going to happen one day. The goggle's going to rip off, and that guy's going to win an Olympic gold. He won't be able to see anything, just his instincts. But they also won weightlifting, 64 kg. Madhu Sharon, 2 golds for Canada, both won by young ladies. Women holding it down for Canada. Hungary, 2 golds. Christoph Milik breaks the Olympic record. Already had the world record that Michael Phelps held. Now he breaks the Olympic record Michael Phelps held. Hungry, man. Hungry. Germany, Duitsland, the real Duitsland, 2 gold. France, 2 gold. Republic of Korea, 3 gold. As I said, never mind. Dominant in archery, Korea. I saw when they won the mixed team gold. But dominant in archery, I believe they won gold in women's archery as well. Difficult sport, archery, that. I wasn't bad. Happy Acres Camp. Good times. Great Britain, which is 3 countries in one. I don't believe that's very fair. But the United States competes in this, so... Gold in synchronized diving. My favorite sport of the Olympics. Interesting. Very, very cool sport. I like the synchronized diving. Women's and men's. Australia, 6 gold. Australia dominant in the water. Deserved. You guys got to be getting something, Australia. Come on. Ariana Tutmus. Maybe I pronounced that incorrectly. Maybe I pronounced it correctly. It's a toss-up around here. The new gold standard in women's swimming. Congratulations 200 gold, 400 gold. I was a 400 runner, not a 400 swimmer. I was a 400 runner though. Russian Olympic Committee, 7 gold. Australia have 6 gold if you didn't hear that. Great Britain have 5 gold. Russian Olympic Committee have 7 gold. They did the double in gymnastics, men and women's. Congratulations to Russia. China, 10 gold. Women's synchronized diving. So watch the highlights. It's impressive. It's impressive. United States. The United States doing what the United States usually does. 10 gold. Winning a lot. But the United States does this in the Olympics. And unlike, nothing against Australia, but not like Australia, but Australia are going to peak. They've peaked. This is the best we're going to get from Australia. They may win another medal in another competition, rowing, kayaking, slalom, kayaking, canoeing, whatever you want to call it. But the United States does this. We start out strong and we end strong. We're like Katie Ledecky in the 1500. Congratulations to her winning the gold. But like Ledecky, we're consistent throughout the Olympics. We were going to win 10 here. Track and field hasn't started yet. Ping pong isn't over yet. Basketball isn't over yet. And last time I checked last night, the United States were up 60-30 against Iran. I think we got the gold in women's basketball. Alright? I talked about how maybe we need to send our young players for men's basketball. We do not need to do that. We do not. I'm saying we. The United States does not need to do that. We need to send our best players because they're catching up. Oh, Lord, they're catching up. Thank God Giannis isn't playing in this. Thank God. Let's send our young players for the women because the women, we don't need Sue Bird. We don't need Diane Taurasi. We got this. We don't need Brittany Griner. Let's put our young players in there. Sabrina Ionescu. You know? Put Kelsey Plum. She's on 3v3 team. Put Kelsey Plum in there. Asia Wilson, cool. Brianna Stewart, cool. But let's make this thing a little younger. Because we're dominant in that. You know? Women's basketball, I trust the women's basketball team. If you were to bet on the women's basketball team or the men's basketball team with your life, who are you betting on? You're betting on the men's. I just ruined that whole thing. I just ruined that whole thing by saying the men's. I'm betting on the women's. I may blur that out. That was so piss poor. I'm betting on the women's. But 10 gold for the United States. 11 gold. And this is number one, numero uno. 11 gold for the Japanese, holding it down for the home country. It would have been a great Olympics if it was open. Oh my goodness. Tokyo, summer. You know summertime Tokyo. It feels like LA. It feels like NY. Summertime Tokyo. So throw your hands up in the sky. No. Who made that song? Who's made that song? T-Pain features on it, just to let you know. He was supposed to release an album. He finessed everyone on Friday. Good for him. Wearing stockings over his head. Good for him. But 11 gold, Japan. Swept skateboarding. It's always better when the home country does well. Yui Oshai. She's shy, but she wins the 200 medley relay in women's swimming. United States plays second and third. 2 19-year-olds. We'll be back. We'll be back for that medaling. Especially in 2028 when they're 26? No. Yeah, it's 2021 right now. Yes, 26. And we'll probably have someone else. Congratulations to old girl from Alaska. I forget her name. Breaststroke. Congratulations to that. Big girl from South Africa. Proud to the people. And I find it hilarious how great the Olympics are. I think the Olympics, I'm getting it. It's a microcosm of the world. The United States is still dominant, right? But we ain't the best at everything. Dominant, but not the best. If we join up, if the world joins together, the United States doesn't have a chance. That's what it looks like to me. Maybe in 2004, in the Olympics, United States versus all, United States still wins. But now, if there was United States versus the world and that was the Olympics, United States would get smoked. They would get smoked. Anyways. All great empires fall, people. All great empires fall. But before I close, I want to touch on a little baseball. America's great pastime. The pastime. It's going to come back. I have faith. It's going to come back. And we're at 57 minutes. I don't care. I talk as long as I want to. This is a Peng Sports Podcast. But let me say this. Braves are going to win the NL East. Just this one comment. The Braves are going to win the NL East. That's going to happen. They're going to take over the Mets. Another thing. One more thing. I really hope the Dodgers and the Padres make the wild card game. Cross my fingers, cross my heart. I hope to die. Something along those lines, right? I don't hope to die. That got morbid. I apologize. But okay, one more comment though. The Angels will not make the playoffs this year, and it's quite disappointing. And as said by a million people, that's the problem with baseball. And that's the reason why baseball is in top sport. Because your best players, the guy who pitches and hits home runs, is not going to play in the playoffs. And the best player ever in baseball has played in one playoff series and went 1 for 12. Nothing against that. That's not. I shouldn't have said that. But who cares, right? Who cares if your best player isn't playing? I want to see Mike Trout. I want to see Shohei Ohtani, the greatest player of all time, Mike Trout. He's not a 1 for 12 player. This is his first playoff series. I understand it, Mike. Nothing against you. I want to see Shohei and the Angels in the playoffs. Sports are built off of star power. Yes, they're built off of great games. I believe baseball's better than it's ever been, honestly. But your sport is based and predicated off stars. Basketball was great because they had stars, Magic and Bird. Then they gave it to MJ. Now they give it to LeBron. That's why the NBA is sort of in a little space, because who's the next guy? They have a lot, but who's the next guy? Football has Tom Brady. American football has Tom Brady. Golf was cool because of Tiger Woods. The Olympics are exciting because of Ledecky, Phelps, and Bolt. Now they have Biles instead of Ledecky. Now they have Biles. Good for her sitting out. Mental health is a thing. That's why social media is a problem. Anyways, that's a discussion for another day. But football. Why do you think football is the number one sport in the world? Because they have star power. Why do you think they tried to start the Super League? Because they're losing star power. They're trying to make it something attractive. They had Pele, they had Maradona, now they have Ronaldo and Messi. And guess who's getting older, people? Ronaldo and Messi. Your sport is built on star power baseball. You need to rig it. I know you do. Just hang it. We're at an hour, people. Thanks for riding with me if you're still here. Call me if you get lost. Shout out to that album, best album of the year, if I do say so myself. But thanks for watching, or thanks for listening, however you want to look at it. This is the Peng Sports Podcast, episode 22. Shout out to Magdalene. Again, thank you for listening. This is the Peng Sports Podcast. We're at an hour and 40 seconds. Now, okay. Have a good rest of your week. Finish out the week strong. Arigato.